Hi, Arturo. Nice to meet you again.
Here in Munich.
Yeah. Yeah, we are used to meet in Spain where we are having our quarterly operations. Yeah, you and me, but now I am living in Germany.
Yeah.
So I am more concerned of the European topics for a broader perspective.
Yeah.
And actually, I found very interesting the work you do in AVERE.
Yeah.
And I think in these gatherings, in the EV family, we just used to listen to those similar topics like, hey, we have a lot of regulations in Germany, we have a lot of regulations in Spain, we have a lot of regulation in Italy, in France, and so on. And you are the guys in AVERE that are well positioned to support this problem or to find out a solution for this.
Yeah.
Can you please share with us what's the current status in AVERE of these concernings about the regulation?
Yeah. Well, first of all, AVERE is an association which gathers all the different national associations. It gathers as well some companies, but in general, business associations in different countries. And of course, we are facing similar problems and similar challenges. And we work with public administrations, in this case with the European Parliament, in order to boost regulation, all that things that makes e-mobility feasible in Europe. And now we are working, especially during these last months, we have been working in, for example, in the AVERE regulation, in the Fit for 55. And we are working in order to make the public administrations to understand that e-mobility is much more than sustainable mobility. It's sustainable mobility, of course, but it's energy efficiency as well. So the electric vehicle is the only propulsion system able to interact with the grid in order to boost renewables, distributed generation, and energy storage. This is very important. It's absolutely important, especially in Europe, where we don't produce fossil fuels, but we are able to produce our own energy to feed buildings, industry, and mobility. So these are the main goals that we have in AVERE now, and of course waiting to know what will happen with the European elections, and we will work on that after.
Indeed, it sounds like in Europe, energy is a synonymous of politics.
Yeah. Yes, of course, and automotive industries as well as synonymous of politics. And we have to remind that, of course, when we talk about sustainability, it seems that we are talking about political, idea or something like this. But the real thing is that sustainability affects to any part of the industry, economy, and so on. And it's something that shouldn't be, installed in some political discussion. Because if we don't work in order to be more efficient from sustainability, but as well from energy efficiency, we will face a lot of problems. It doesn't matter what's the political party will manage, Europe. And this is something that worries me, because I really don't know if all the parties are aware of it. But and it also happens in Spain. But in general in Europe, we need to understand that now the world is changing rapidly. And we need to be more efficient, more independent from third countries, from third markets. And of course, we need to understand that when we talk about the automotion of the future, we're talking about energy efficiency, because we're talking about electric mobility.
Right.
And this is a core business to bear in mind here.
Yeah, right. It seems like this mobility or transport transformation is turning up and down the roles of the stakeholders, the roles of the key players. I mean, we have seen like automakers distributing energy.
Yeah.
We've seen energy companies selling hardware devices.
Yeah.
we need a lot of new things that they were not happening with the gas industry.
Yeah.
There were clear rules like, hey, automakers, they sell cars.
Yeah.
Gas companies, they distribute gas, period. Yeah. But now everything is changing, and there is a lot of confusion on what might be the best regulation according who you ask for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something hard, especially for some sectors like the automotive industry, because over the last century, they have been the masters of the universe. So they have made their own decisions.
The countdown is ended.
Yeah, that's the point. And now electricity has become part of the automotive industry. And now the automotive industry is not the only sector to talk about the future of mobility. So something very deep has changed. And it's hard for some companies, for some sectors to understand this change. But it's happening, and it will happen rapidly. So, this is tough for them. But on the other hand, it means that the automotive industry, of course, electricity has become a part of the automotive industry, but the automotive industry has become as well part of the electricity market. So they have to work together in order to find, the better solution, the ways to be more effective, especially in Europe, to create business opportunities, to reinforce, the capacity of Europe to be independent, to be economically strong. And this is something that we need. We need to cooperate in a public-private way, but as well in a private way.
With out of the box.
Yeah.
And with more determination.
That's the point. And talking about, for example, the regulation, the automotive industry has been an over-regulated market, and the electricity market has been as well an over-regulated market. So what's happening in Europe and what worries us? Europe has been always an over-regulated market in several
regulatory power.
Yeah, exactly. So regulation is our main goal. But other markets are being more practical. They know where they want to go, and they know that they want to go faster as they can. So if we stay in Europe discussing about regulation, about how to do that, how to do this, and so on, now we don't make fast decisions in order to be leaders, we will have a big problem, because we have China, which is acting very fast, very quick, and as well other markets like United States, because when we talk about European Union,
Actually, there is not a real union.
Yeah, the tricky situation is that we are not talking about a union, because you have different countries making different decisions.
It's an unended union.
Exactly.
Incomplete.
Exactly.
Union.
So,
okay, so we have elections.
Yeah,
European elections. Some trends, some voting trends or pollings saying that populism and nationalism will gain some quota in the parliaments.
exactly.
That's a trend. So we
Yeah.
we not avoid that. Yeah, we need to
We are aware
to
of
live with that. And so, what does it mean? Because populism in Italy is not the same as populism in Hungary. And but how do you perceive those populism, those new political parties entering again in some power quota will with all EV regulations?
Yeah, well, our main goal, it doesn't matter what will be the party will lead Europe in the next years. The most important thing for us is to make the political parties understand that we are talking about something which goes further than sustainability. There are political parties that then understand when we talk about sustainability. Okay, this goal is that there's no climate change, there's no whatever. But there's something on which all the political parties agree, And this is, the capacity of being strong from an industrial point of view. We need to be stronger from an industrial point of view and from an energy point of view.
To build up the foundation of an industry.
Exactly. So we are talking about competitiveness, employment, and sort of things that are very important.
That perhaps some people maybe, or green parties, maybe we should be concerned in the future to see more mining in Europe and maybe reducing the tolerance of the impact of mining activity in Europe.
Well,
because we expelled, Europe expelled mining activity 20 years ago. Now, maybe it will be part of the solution, but we need to live with that.
Yeah,
the
but
consequences.
And there's some misunderstanding when we talk about mining, for example. We think that mining has nothing to do with sustainability, and this is not real, because you can produce materials from a sustainable point of view. For example, Australia. Australia is one of the main countries in production of lithium, and is one of the most sustainable countries in the world. So how can they do that?
Taking seriously the concerns of safeguarding sustainability.
Yeah, if you reuse water, if you use renewable energies, if you don't use chemicals for certain, applications and so on, and you do it from a sustainable point of view, it will be a different message.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't need to think that mining is something that will affect the environment. We need to understand that mining can be done in a sustainable way.
I see. And when we talk about taxes of the cars, the vehicles, there's a huge division of that. So there is some people thinking, that's good, because when we are going to sell cars in China or produce cars in China, there are some barriers. So we need to create barriers as well. So we need to compensate that. Other people say, no, because then they will do the same. So we will struggle to sell cars in China, which is the biggest market. What's the official position by AVERE?
Well, this is a tricky situation. Maybe the official position in AVERE is to defend the European industry. But I have certain doubts about the way to do that, because this is a global market. This is something that you can't avoid. So, and it means that if you make things difficult for Chinese market, probably the Chinese market will make it difficult for you as well. So, I think we have to create the conditions to be more competitive in Europe, to boost industry in Europe, to help companies to be more competitive.
Put the focus on the innovation properly, not the barriers.
To use the next generation funds in a proper way. To make the industry stronger in Europe. And to look for collaboration in other foreign markets, for example, China, for those things that we can take advantage of. So that's the point. So to put barriers is something dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Don't you think that we are facing for the next years two different Europes, like the West and the East, just as happened during the 2008 crisis? It was the North and the South. Now it looks like it's West and East. Because of the crisis in Ukraine and the energy situation with Russia and so on. But now Chinese are investing in factories in the East, and so those owned factories in the West are concerned, hey, this is not fair, because we have production here and we want that production here instead of the East. Is this happening? And we will see that on the EU Parliament and the political positions.
Well, the most important thing is that politics in Europe understand that this is not a very easy way to understand that, North and South, East and West, and so on. So we need to understand that probably, for example, the last decades, we have seen that, for example, Germany, France, the north of Europe, have been very divided. They have used the gas which comes from Russia and so on, and they thought it was for the future for several years, but things has changed, and probably in the future, in the near future, the most competitive countries in Europe will be those countries able to take advantage of renewable energies in order to feed, as I said before, buildings, industry, and mobility.
Well, that's very interesting because renewable, of course, is part of the solution. Yeah, and you can recharge cars with renewable energy.
Yeah,
but you cannot build batteries with renewable.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's somehow tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, but the more this market evolves, the more efficient it becomes. So
yeah,
that's the point. In the future, well, we have seen during the last years, every 5 years, this market changes dramatically.
Yeah.
So from a technical point of view.
Yeah.
So I really don't know where we will have in 10 years, but I'm sure that we will face another different market than the market that we are facing now, because 10 years ago, we didn't expect what's happening now. Indeed, 10 years ago, we didn't talk about, for example, fast chargers.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
There were only AC chargers.
Only on testing labs.
E-mobility was, exactly, and e-mobility was
Now it's
AC
part of the
chargers.
normality.
And now we are facing other things, and we are facing energy storage, and we're facing a lot of things different that we didn't expect 10 years ago. So imagine in the future, 10 years in the future, we really don't know what will happen, but we will be more efficient. We will be able to convert consumers in prosumers. It will be absolutely different. A user will be able to sell its own energy in the battery because we will have very efficient batteries able to move cars or vehicles, but as well to provide energy to other needs. And this is something that now we really don't understand. We are not talking about this. We're talking about sustainability.
Yeah, as a
Sustainable mobility,
vague idea.
environment, climate change, and so on. But energy efficiency will be the key point in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And this is something that will change dramatically this market.
It sounds like, okay, so you guys in AVERE, in the European Parliament, politicians spend a lot of time talking about these current topics, but actually one of the future topics is autonomous driving.
Yeah.
Autonomous driving seems like the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's here, but nobody talks very much.
Yeah.
I mean, from a regulatory perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real thing is that we are talking about regulatory issues. But for example, if you want to taste something related to autonomous vehicles, you can go to, Emirates Arabs, where
all is around
everything
California.
is easy, or California. Everything is easy. You can test it. You can prove it. You can make. But here we are discussing about regulation and always discussing and always with the other markets, but we are not making decisions.
Well, actually, there is not a clear regulation that impedes or stops autonomous driving.
No.
As long as there is no regulation,
but
everyone can do it.
But for example, now we have here, for example, in Spain, I really don't know in other European countries, but in Spain, you have the level number 3, where you need to have the hands in the wheel, and you can move it from that. So, and in other countries, you are not talking about autonomous vehicles. You are talking about vehicles able to go flying. So you can test vehicles.
I'm open to test new businesses.
Exactly, because this is evolving rapidly. Yeah. And if you are not as rapid as the market is evolving, someone will do. This is the example, for example, in Europe is we are not really looking at Latin America, for example.
Which might be an opportunity.
But
just
China,
like Africa for the Chinese.
China has entered in Latin America like an elephant in the storage. So they have, so they are selling electric vehicles. They are installing charging points.
Yeah, just did it. Instead of
and now we are looking at Latin America. We are discussing, okay, what can we do with the CCS charging system? Because We have Charin in Europe working for that, but we're waiting. We're discussing. So China is being more effective, and in the future, if we don't work rapidly, we won't have the opportunity to transfer technology from new.
Okay. Arturo, after elections, day one, we have a new commissioner, even though it will be transport or energy commissioner that will take the responsibility to promote electric vehicle adoption. What would be the first decision to make?
Well, the first decision to be made is to listen the industry in general, to look at in a global way, not to think about the automotive industry only as a box, but he needs to consider, or she needs to consider as a global market, including energy efficiency, electricity, and so on, because we are talking about not only about climate change, decarbonization. We're talking about energy efficiency, and if we understand e-mobility as energy efficiency, then it will be a very good idea to bear in mind all that what we are able to do from an industrial and technological point of view to reinforce our industry, focus on that future. If not, we will be late and we will be behind other markets.
Makes sense. We all know you that this work you have done in the last years as in terms of advocacy. Yeah. We expected that you would be there. Today, day one, to say these people, hey, please do it. Yeah. This is the right way to do it. Please listen to Arturo.
Yeah, I hope so. And if not, listen to AVERE. It's where all the associations are gathered, and that's the most important thing.
Okay. Thanks, Arturo.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.